What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? John out here with you. I know I don't normally do this, but because we started the Hopeless Sports Guy, hopelesssportsguy.wordpress.com, you saw me do a lot of basketball and hockey coverage. Well, now we've hit that point where the NFL season is going to start week one. And this is coming from a guy that doesn't know a lot about the NFL. So let me give you the long and short of it. I've been doing a football pool for about 5 or 6 years where you do picks against the spread. Now, I've won some money even though I haven't known a lot about football. I've done okay, but my picks over the last couple of years have been above 500, but you have to be above 500 a lot more than that. You got to be shooting about 75% if you want to win some of this money. Look, I don't know how everyone else gets all these picks. I just kind of look around on a couple free things, keep a look at some of my own thoughts, and send them out. So what I'm going to end up doing on the website is I will give you a complete breakdown of the week one action. It'll just be a short few paragraphs on each team and the results. Obviously, everyone is going to have a 1-0 or 0-1 record unless we got ties and stuff going on in week one, which would be kind of a drag. So these are just opening lines from Monday. I'm going to give you all of my picks. They're all going to be written down on the website as well, hopelesssportsguy.wordpress.com. But in the video, I'm going to give you all my picks. And then we have to do a tiebreaker just in case. I'll give that as well. And then we can make fun of me week to week as my picks are lousy. I'm probably going to be doing as good as Colin Cowherd. If I bat about 50%, then I'm doing okay. He makes a lot more money than I do. I don't make anything. So let's get into this picks here. So these are just the Monday lines. I will read them to you. So New Orleans is laying 5.5 going to the Atlanta Falcons. I'm going to take New Orleans. I know Jameis Winston's back there now, but I know what they have on the running back side of it. I know their offense is usually pretty good, even if you're outside that dome or not. They're in Atlanta. I'm going to take New Orleans laying the 5.5. Now, this is one of those ones, if I had to pick a lock of the week, and this might be me sounding stupid here, but San Francisco going to the Bears laying 7.5. I know it's Trey Lance, but on the other side, I know it's Justin Fields, and sometimes Chicago can look a little anemic, and I'm not blaming that all on Justin Fields, I hope. As the season goes along, the Chicago Bears can improve. Look, it's the same division with the NFC North in between the Vikings, the Packers, the Lions, and the Bears, and you're listening to a guy from Michigan here, so get a chance to see that division a bit. I'm not really going to be picking the Lions going forward in there, but we'll see what happens with the Bears. But I'll take San Francisco laying 7.5. Now, this is one that might come back to bite me in the ass between the Cincinnati Bengals and Pittsburgh. So Pittsburgh's traveling to Cincinnati, getting 6.5 points, and it's Mitch Trubisky going against Joe Burrow on the Cincinnati side. Look, it's week one. Anything can happen here. Mike Tomlin always has the team usually prepared. He's one of the best coaches in all of football, and you know what you get with Pittsburgh. Call me crazy. Week one, I'm going to take Pittsburgh on the road with the 6.5 points, maybe just to keep it close against Cincinnati, and I could be completely wrong about that. Now, here's one I feel a little bit more confident with, and I would say this is probably a secondary lock for me. So it's Philadelphia and Detroit. It's going to be at Ford Field, and Detroit's going to get 4.5. I'm going to take the Eagles. What I've seen between that offensive line, look, I know the last time, a couple times when Detroit played Philadelphia, they got waxed because a lot of the guys and all the starters were out. There were no T.J. Hawkinson. You had backup quarterbacks in for days. Blau is back with Boyle, I think, as well, even though Jared Goff is going to get the start. I'm going to take the Philadelphia Eagles. I know everybody's drinking the Kool-Aid here with the Lions on Hard Knocks. I'm going to take the Eagles. My tiebreaker point for that's going to be 48, so at least 48 points. Probably, at least you'd say 24-24. Maybe Eagles get they got to win by at least 4.5 for me to get the win here. I think they can do it. So I'll say at least 48 points in that game for the tiebreaker side. Here's the interesting part with Miami in New England. Anytime I see New England on there, I don't care when you're getting points. I always like Alabama. You always take the points if they're going to be getting points. I'm going to go against my own rule here. I'll take Miami with a 3.5 at home at Hard Rock Stadium, if they still call that in Miami. So Baltimore and the Jets. Look, Lamar Jackson wants his contract. Let's play for it and see how good you do. Again, I think he's got it paid for a couple more years here. It's the Jets. I know Baltimore has some issues with the receiving core, but Lamar Jackson can still get it done on his own. They only have to get up past 7.5 on that Monday line. Give me the Ravens, and we'll go from there. This is a game I wish I didn't have to bet on. Washington, the Commanders and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Jacksonville getting 3.5 points. Don't bet on this game at all. Just for picks, because I have to pick one, I took Jacksonville. Look, I know they were dreadful and all that stuff last year, but I really, truly don't know which way to go on this one, so I'll take the field goal of points. Cleveland and Carolina. Boy, how things have changed. Going in there now, Deshaun Watson's not available. You don't have Baker Mayfield. What the hell is going on in Cleveland and what's available? Is it Jacoby Brissett? He's the starter there now. Is it Sam Darnold and Baker Mayfield in Carolina? I don't feel really good about any of those quarterback matchups, but I do know Christian McCaffrey is on Carolina, and they have some good pieces on defense as well that can get after the quarterback. And they're getting 2.5 points at home. I'll take Carolina and see what happens. I'm not going to be sold on Cleveland, and any of the energy that they put on themselves, I would admit, would be bad press. Now, here's one that I could be completely wrong once again and be way out of left field, because every time the Indianapolis Colts play Houston, what is it, like a combined 62-3 in the last couple seasons meetings, but Houston is getting 8.5 points at home. Look, it's week 1. You never know what's going to happen in week 1. I'm going to take the 8.5 points. This will be another one in Tennessee. This is the third lock for me. Tennessee and the Giants, 5.5. Tennessee lays 5.5 at home. They should cover that against the Giants. That's one I feel pretty good about. So I took Tennessee. For Green Bay and Minnesota, I know no more Devontae Adams here for Aaron Rodgers, but it is Aaron Rodgers. They traveled to Minnesota, the two NFC North teams. Green Bay and Minnesota, you meet twice a year and they usually split. Is this going to be the time where Kirk Cousins can get the early win and be 1-0 on the season after week 1? The spread's only 1.5. It's pretty much a pick 'em. Which way are you going to lean? Are you going to lean with the pack, or are you going to lean with the purple people eaters here? I'm going to go with Minnesota on the coin flip, but I don't feel too confident about it. Kansas City and Arizona. Is Arizona going to be like the team that lost to the Lions? Because if they are against Kansas City, they're going to get their barn doors blown up. The spread's only 4.5, so Vegas is thinking that Kansas City is going to be able to stay close. I know what I got on the other side. I know Kyler Murray is really good, but it's still Patrick Mahomes on the other side. Give me Mahomes and the Chiefs. I'll take the 4.5 points and lay it comfortably. Chargers in Vegas, if there's another one of those games I don't want to touch for the week, it would be this one. Usually when the Chargers and the Raiders play, it's a very entertaining game. Vegas is getting 3.5, although they got to go to LA, which is not very far of a drive there, and we'll see what ends up happening there. It should be a very fun game to watch, but don't bet on that one. But Vegas is getting 3.5. Now the last two, this one I feel pretty comfortable with. Look, I know Dallas Cowboys are really good. They lost Tyron Smith for the year. They got some issues at receiver, but it's only 1.5. It's a pick 'em. Tom Brady on week 1. It was a pretty good, entertaining game last year when Tampa and Dallas played. It might not be as high scoring, but I would think Tampa could at least win by a field goal. So give me the Bucks, because they only have to lay 1.5. And the last game Monday night between the Denver Broncos and the Seattle Seahawks, it's 6.5 that the Seahawks are getting. Russell Wilson is now on the other side. Pete Carroll, don't know if he wanted to get rid of Russell Wilson or what they thought about him there. On the other side, maybe a little bit of revenge tour. Some of the spreads I've seen for people saying it would be like a 16-13 game. So it seems like 6.5 is a lot to lay. But I'll just take, I'll take the damage and hope that they win by 7. So I have the Broncos. So let's go through it again real quick. I have the Saints, the Niners, Pittsburgh Steelers, Philadelphia Eagles. I got Miami. I have Baltimore. Jacksonville begrudgingly between the Commanders and the Jaguars. Don't quote me on that one. Don't feel too comfortable. It is Carolina against Cleveland. I'll take the 8.5 with Houston and Indianapolis just because it's week 1. That might come back to bite me in the ass. Tennessee. I have Minnesota. See if they get that win against Green Bay and see how it starts with Devontae Adams. And then I have Kansas City, the Raiders, and then it is Tampa and Denver as my picks. And the Eagles-Lions tiebreaker for points scored, I have a 48. So hopefully I can start above 500 in week 1, and we'll see how it goes. So those are my picks. We're going to be doing this every week, and then when you check on the site, I will give you the recap of the games with the scores and records. So I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will see you again next week on NFL coverage. And once the NHL and NBA season start, in between ESPN Plus and NBA League Pass, courtesy of the 2K23 Championship Edition, I will have your coverage with at least one game each week. So it's going to be more than that. So it's going to be NFL coverage throughout the year, and then we're going to have NHL and NBA coverage when the season starts in October. So I hope you guys enjoy. I will be back next week with more NFL picks. Peace.